Data Connect is an add-on for Basecase that enables you to connect remote web services to Basecase apps. It has many use cases, including fetching the latest data from a regularly updated data source, querying a large database hosted on a private data center, and more. In this demonstration, I want to show you how to create a Basecase app that will read live data from an online dataset. I've chosen the US Center for Disease Control and Prevention website, which has a wide range of publicly available datasets, and on there I found this dataset showing the distribution of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine across different US states. I have an app here which has some styles configured and assets uploaded to save us some time, but apart from that, it's a blank canvas. Let's open the app in the edit mode. And once we're in the edit mode, let's just add a background first of all from a background image that I uploaded earlier. The next thing I want to do is add a map. And I've already uploaded an SVG file of a US map that I'm going to use. And I want to adjust the size and position of my map. Once I've done that, then I want to make some formatting changes. So this includes changing the background of the map to a transparent background, widening the border between the states and changing the color of the border, also changing the background color of the state and changing the border width, border color, and background color of the selected state. I'm also going to remove the labels so the names of the states don't appear on the map. And the next thing I want to do is add a text area. In this text area, I'm going to write the heading Pfizer vaccine distribution allocations. And I'll use a style which I've already created. And below this, I just want the name of the selected state. So the way I'm going to do this is actually place a cell reference in the text area. And this cell reference refers to cell A1 in the data feed of the text area. So now I need to go to this data feed, select cell A1, press my equals sign, and then go to my map control and find the currently selected state and press enter. As we can see, it now says Alaska in our text area, which is the currently selected state. I'm just going to slightly reposition my text area. And if I go to my preview mode, I can check that the currently selected state will be the one that appears in the text area. And now that I can see that's working, the next thing I want to do is actually connect the remote web service to my app. And to do this, I need to go to my spreadsheet editor. And then I click to add a remote service. The next thing I need to do is get the URL for my remote service, and I will find this on the CDC website. I just need to click the API option and choose a CSV file, which will make things easier for us. And I copy the URL, go back to Basecase, and paste the URL here. Once I've done this, I also want to select that it should be a CSV file type. And then if I go to my results tab, we can see that it is now actually reading live data from our data source. Now I want to filter the results so I don't see them all at once, and to do this I need to add a parameter in my workbook. I'm going to type jurisdiction, which is telling Basecase to only show data which matches a given jurisdiction in the data source, and then I need to specify which jurisdiction this will be, so I type a cell reference. This cell reference refers to the inputs sheet. So now on that sheet, I need to select the cell, press equals, and tell it to read the currently selected state on my US map. So now, the results pulled from the remote web service will only be those that match the particular cell I have selected on my map. I can test this is working by going to my preview mode, selecting a different state, and then going back to the spreadsheet editor and checking that the Results tab is now showing the data for the newly selected state. Now let's go back to our interface editor, and I want to add a table which I'm going to use to show the 10 most recent weeks of results of the vaccine distribution. Once I've placed my table, I want to connect the data feed, so I need to press equals here in the table data feed, go to my spreadsheet editor, and then find the data feed of the remote service. I want data from columns B, C, and D. I'll start with column B, so press enter there, and that's connected column B to column A in my table data feed. I can drag this across for the other two columns, and then I can drag the data down so it shows the first 10 rows of results. And then I just want to change the appearance of my results in a few ways, so change the size and the position of the table slightly. I also want to make the text in the headings a bit neater, so I'll just change the first column to week, and I'll make the first dose and second dose headers a bit neater as well. I also want to change the way in which my data is formatted. So to make the dates a bit shorter, I'm going to use the mid function in the formula bar, so the table only displays the first 10 characters of each date. And once I've applied the mid formula to the top cell, I just want to drag the formula down so it now applies to all of the dates. Now, the data I'm pulling from the CDC website is actually formatted as text. I want it to be formatted as number, so I'm going to use the value function to do this. And then again, I need to drag the formula along to column C and then down through my 10 columns of results. Now I'll just reposition my table slightly. And there are just some final formatting changes I want to make. I want my heading cells to have a slightly different color to the other cells, just so they stand out. So I'll just change the background color here. And I'm going to make the bottom border of these cells a lighter color to create a line between the headings and the data. And the last thing I want to do is format these cells as number cells and remove the decimal places. Finally, let's go to our preview mode just to test our app. And we can see that when we click on a state, it will give us the updated vaccine data for that particular state. And as we've seen, that data is actually being pulled from a live remote web service.